kind of feel the need to talk about ghosting at 41 years old and trying to date again.
Oh, hey.
I just don't do it. Like, I feel it's very disrespectful.
Welcome in, welcome in. It's iLLzWiLLz Watu'z. I'm just chilling. I'm just watching YouTube. And y'all can watch it with me. I'm sorry. Chicken box.
I give someone an explanation. Probably a nicer one than I would preferably give, but I tell them the reasoning behind why.
Alright, let's listen to this woman that thought that her affair.
I'm the one writing this. Here I am. To keep things confidential, I'll speak in general terms and use fake names.
It says, my alpha husband got revenge on me after being out about my little cheating. After finding out about my little cheating. Oh, it's little now. My little cheating mistake.
Let's call my husband Deegan and me Jenny. We're both in our 20s and have been married for over 2 years. We crossed paths unexpectedly in public, started chatting, exchanged contact info, and the rest, as they say, is history. It felt like love at first sight, at least for me. We dated for 6 months and then lived together for a year before tying the knot. Due to my parents' insistence, we had a large wedding. They covered all the expenses except for the bar tab and our honeymoon, which Deegan's parents paid for. My parents adore Deegan, and his parents have a deep affection for me.
Nice.
Our marriage has been fantastic.
Good.
And I wouldn't change a thing.
Okay.
Deegan treats me exceptionally well,
Good.
and I do the same for him. It's just our natural way of expressing love.
Get to the point.
Now, you might wonder, what's the issue here?
Right.
Well, the problem is that I cheated on Deegan with a colleague from work 2 months ago, and now I'm burdened with guilt.
What?
Whenever Deegan does something kind for me, I feel terrible inside.
Who follows that?
I'm overwhelmed with guilt and a sense of not deserving his kindness.
Who told you?
In an attempt to make amends for my betrayal, I've been exceptionally attentive to him since we returned from our trip.
Yes.
While we've always been naturally affectionate with each other, I'm taking it to another level. My dad even playfully teases us, suggesting we get a room because we're constantly engaged in some form of public display of affection. Like I mentioned earlier, I won't delve into details, but I want to clarify how things unfolded with my...
So look, I'm done with this. How come? Basically, people just can't control themselves. Is that what it is now? Because on one end, you got women saying they want a good man. And then a lot of these affairs and stuff, they always start off with, I got a good man. He was a good guy. So why did you leave him? Because you wanted to try some other penises, didn't you? Oh, man, I had the best girl. She was chilling, man. She was doing all this and that. So why was you spending time in other women's houses? In hotels with other women? If your woman was so good. Because you can't control yourself. So now you just fuck up everybody's life.
Coworker. I was chosen to join a special work team at my company. This project was a significant venture for the company and held great importance for our shareholders. Working on this assignment was satisfying but incredibly demanding and stressful.
I bet it was satisfying.
To the extent that one of our team members, a woman, experienced a nervous breakdown.
Oh, no.
Most of our work on the project was done remotely, but we did have 3 in-person team meetings along the way.
Okay, damn.
As we neared the project's completion, something went wrong with the part I was responsible for.
Damn.
This required me to spend a week at one of our regional offices to fix the issue. Initially, 3 of us were scheduled to go, but at the last minute, the woman I mentioned, who had the nervous breakdown, had to cancel for obvious reasons. This left me and another coworker, whom I'll call Percy, to tackle the problem and ensure the project met its deadline. We were on a tight schedule.
There you go. Women thinking that that work and shit. That's why men don't be wanting your asses in these office buildings working with these motherfuckers. Because all it's going to take is a little bit of time together, and now it's, oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. No, your ass working from home and staying at home. Or your ass is a job that I can be at. Fuck you talking about. Because all you doing is getting influenced. Motherfuckers don't care. All you gotta do is set up one little conversation with a guy that's on some sneaky freaky shit. And now every time he come around, what's up? I know, because I was that guy. Some shorty, I'll be like, hey, how you doing? That's good. And some shorty, I'll be like, oh, damn, your man, huh? He dropped you off. That's how you feel. You just gonna bring your man around me like that? Don't do that shit. Shut up. Da, 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 da. Still letting me talk. End up getting her ass bent over in the refrigerator. You tripping? Hot cold sex. You feel me? Shit. Who falls that? His, cause he let her ass come to work. And every day I'm just doing a little something else, throwing a little bit out there, buying little shit, lunches, foods. That's all you gotta do. When that son come around, hey, yo, you want this? I ordered this on my bad. You want that? I know it's your favorite. Oh my gosh, you so nice. My dude don't even do that for me. That's it. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Just keep doing shit until she say her dude don't even do that or her dude not that nice. Once you hear that, then you got her. And that was just a matter of time. And at the same time, you can fuck her anywhere. The car, on break. You know what I'm saying? Like early in the morning and shit. Like all different types. I had one shorty I had to come through at 5 in the morning and shit. It was dark still. She ain't want the neighbors to see, you feel me? So I had to come in on that type time. I had to leave at 6 and shit. By 6. You feel me? His ass left at 3. So by 5 o'clock, his ass was already gone at work. She already texted and FaceTimed his ass. Already know that he there. He an hour away on this day. So we was cool. We could have stayed longer, but like I said, she was smart. She wasn't trying to have the neighbors see me in and out. And like I'm saying, I was staying with my mom at the time, so you know she couldn't come fuck with me. I couldn't fuck her at my mom's house, you know. That's disrespectful. I'd rather go to her house and fuck on her bed where she lived with her man. You feel me? Than to go and do that at my mom's house. And it's crazy that she fucked me too. I was living in my mom's house when her dude was paying all her bills and doing all that shit. She wasn't even what was she doing at the job? Paying for nails and girls' nights out. And cell phone bills and shit. That's what she was really paying for. But anyway, he ain't found out. I kept it moving because I ain't like her ass because she started being controlling. And like I said, that 5 in the morning shit was cool because the first time when I had to get it, but once I got the pussy, I was like, I don't feel like waking up 5 in the morning for that pussy, like. So I just wasn't with it no more, like, you know. And she tried to say I used her and shit. Go figure, right? I used her, like you fucking got a whole dude. You set up a whole operation for me to come in, and I'm the one using you. You lucky I don't tell his ass. That's what I should have did. I should have sent him a dick pic.
And worked continuously from 7 a.m. to well past 10 p.m. for the first 2 nights, spending every available moment together. We worked together in the office and ordered food for both lunch and dinner.
What's up?
I was extremely stressed,
How y'all feeling?
And I felt like I was about to have a nervous breakdown as well. Thankfully, by 4 p.m. on Wednesday, we managed to solve the problem. To celebrate, we went to a nice restaurant and had a bit too much to drink. After returning to the hotel, one thing led to another, and I cheated on my husband.
Damn.
It was a spontaneous, thoughtless action.
That's why I say, when I'm looking at females' fucking profile pictures and they say adventurous, spontaneous, no, I'm not fucking with you. Because that's what you gonna do. That's what spontaneous for. At the end of the day, what is being spontaneous but fucking somewhere that you're not supposed to be fucking? I mean, yeah, we can wake up and go here and wake up and go there and shit like that, but that really got to do with money. That got to do with, you know what I'm saying? With what the schedules is like and shit like that. When they say they trying to be spontaneous and they adventurous, it mean that you can fuck them anywhere. If the mood is right, you can fuck them anywhere. You feel me? So, yeah. That's why she said it was spontaneous. And that's what she like about it. That's her favorite part about it. That's her favorite part about, like, even though motherfuckers cheat like that, that's her favorite part about the fact that she cheated, is that it was so spontaneous, that it happened like some movie shit, like Christian Grey shit. Come on now. Whose fault is that? Her husband's fault? Because his ass, if she in hotels and shit, his ass should have been coming down there at night, seeing what's up, staying up. Why the fuck he couldn't come down there with the kids, if they got kids, or stay with her ass? Why you let her ass go to a hotel? Because she work. Ain't that much working in the world.
It was a spontaneous, thoughtless action.
Thoughtless? Oh my God.
At first, I didn't have any negative feelings about it because I somehow justified it due to our hard work. So, The next night,
She
Percy
deserved
and I
that dick.
repeated what we did the night before. However,
Wait. The first time it was spontaneous. She didn't care about it. But then again, because remember they're here for a whole week. They just fucked on Wednesday, so now it's Thursday. But they did it again. Damn. Ew, that means she was sucking his dick. He was eating her butt. She probably was eating his butt. Probably took it in the butt. All this shit she got to do at home. And she don't feel bad because it was spontaneous. And she deserved it because of her job.
after being together on Thursday, the harsh reality of our actions hit me. And then Percy. We quickly regretted what we had done. Percy knew I was happily married, and I knew he was engaged to be married. We decided right then and there to forget about it as if it never happened.
What?
We were also worried that if news of this affair ever got out within our company, it could damage our reputations and potentially jeopardize our jobs, since it occurred during a company...
Why y'all didn't think about none of this shit when y'all was sitting at the bar having drinks like, yo, you know what? We could end up fucking tonight, and then tomorrow night, and then regret it. Or we can just go to our own rooms and have a good night, and then see our significant others when we get back. Why they couldn't say that then? Now they want to, you know what I mean? Because listen, we can't even tell nobody that we had this conversation because, you know, it'll mess up our reputation. So let's not even do it. Why you gonna have that before? Why you gotta have this idea now? Like, oh my gosh, after I cheated, we feel so bad, we regret it. Let's just act like it never happened. You can't. This is what I'm saying. This is what I said before, y'all. Women crazy because when it comes to like resumes and shit and all that and the Bible and all that shit, like they always say don't bring up the past, but yet they always want to bring up something from the Bible. The Bible is old as hell. Ain't that the past? People talking about something. They always got these resumes and shit, trying to get these jobs and all that. Look at what I did here. I got a degree. Ain't that the past? But when it comes to some dick, then no, that's the past. Act like it never happened.
during a company-paid business trip. We went our separate ways that night and agreed not to speak or communicate unless absolutely necessary. It wouldn't be too difficult since the project we worked on was a unique situation, and we lived on opposite sides of the country, making it unlikely for us to cross paths again. We ended
That's what
things
she
that
loved.
night, or so I thought.
So she thought. But let me tell you something though. This is the thing, right? What just happened is if her boyfriend don't find out about this and that other guy goes on the other side of the country, she's going to do it again with another motherfucker that she ain't never gonna have to see again, and then that's gonna be her reason. Then like the fact that she don't have to see him no more and shit like that, you know, like.
On the flight back home, I felt fine at first, but then I started feeling anxious when I thought about meeting Deegan at the airport. I managed to hold myself together until I reached the pickup area and saw him waiting there, wearing a big smile. As soon as I laid eyes on him, I burped.
Damn, he saw his girl. He's like, yes, I miss my baby. Look at her looking so nice. I'm so happy that I'm here. I showed up on time for her, being responsible for her because I love her. I'm being a man for her. You know, look at this smile for her. And she just was gawk 3,000, bro. Twice that week. Twice, bro. Who knows how long they was fucking for? Cause they was in a hotel. It wasn't like it was on like some quickie shit. Like, no, they was in a hotel. That means that even the second night they did more than they did the first night. They had time to think about it. What to do next time. You're crazy. She ate all types of dick. He did all types of titty motorboating on your girl. On your girl that you happy to see. You happy to see her. And she said she didn't even care in the beginning. I didn't even care when I first got on the plane. When it was done, I didn't even care. I was happy. That's fucked up.
Burst into tears, and we hugged and kissed each other repeatedly, holding
Ew.
on tightly. We were locked
Nigga, you realize you just kissed everybody at the party?
in that embrace for so long that an airport police officer approached us, tapping on the window and signaling us to clear the pickup lane. Deegan asked me what was wrong, and I explained that I had been under a...
See, that long hug that she gave him was all her guilt. And she was trying to get that shit to his ass. Like, that was all her guilt. Because she should have been happy and did it. No, she did a long-ass hug. Because she know how sad what she just did was. But she don't care because she bust her nut. She happy. That's all people be worried about, busting their nuts and shit. Now, and she got a cool story. That's why she telling us. That's why she telling us the story, because it's actually a cool story to her, for real, for real. You know, like the whole that sex shit. She loved telling that. I'm telling you. She tell her friends all the time. Yo, it was so spontaneous. I didn't know what happened. Then the next night it was even crazier. She loved that story. She just hate that it happened. Like, she should have had her husband come down and do that shit. If she got money, what the fuck? He could have came down and been in her bed the last 2 nights. But that's what I'm saying. That's the way he got to be like, yo, if she going somewhere, I'm gonna be there too. So at least she fuck him on Wednesday, but she ain't gonna fuck him on Thursday because you gonna be there on Thursday. That's your problem, fella. You cannot let these women out your sight. You can't. Even if they home all day, they be fucking up sometimes. That's why you gotta put cameras in the house. People be catching motherfuckers crawling in, trying to crawl under the cameras and shit, still getting caught. People gonna try to fuck people. That's what's gonna happen. The same way that you wanted to fuck them and that they wanted to fuck you, it's other people that want to fuck them that they want to fuck too. So what you want to do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
What was wrong, and I explained that I had been under immense stress and missed him so much that I couldn't help but break down when I saw him.
Oh no.
He understood. And that night, we shared a beautiful and passionate night together.
Ew.
Since I returned from the trip, I've been taking extra care of him. He's enjoying the attention and deserves it. But inside, I'm suffering. Guilt is eating away at my mind, and it's getting worse by the day.
So let me see this. Let me get this right? So basically, she was in a relationship with this man, still married and all that. She cheated on him and came back and then started to pamper him. So why she couldn't do this pampering before? Why she didn't see that she was there? Because she don't got no more time. She didn't say she had to take off from work or nothing like that. She just said, oh, I just started being more nicer to him.
I struggle with sleep and appetite, and it's affecting my work. All I want is to be close to my husband and show him how much I love him. I even have recurring nightmares about him discovering the affair.
You know how you can show anybody that you love them? By not cheating on them. When somebody come in your face and they look good and they smell good and they want you because they just want your pussy or your dick, you need to say no. Bye. Not one thing led to another. The fuck?
Leaving me. Last week, we decided to try to conceive a child, which has heightened my emotions about everything.
Mm-hmm.
I keep thinking that I don't deserve him, or that he deserves someone better. I don't believe I can continue like this for another week.
Don't have a child with him, please don't.
No one knows about the affair except for Percy and me.
Don't.
My situation gets even tougher because I have nobody to confide in. I sense my inner conscience urging me to be truthful and tell Deegan about my actions. But
No, all she need to do is to keep being a nice fucking woman. But you know what's gonna happen? One day he gonna make her mad. And then she gonna be like, all this shit I'm doing, that's why I cheated on him any fucking way. Watch. That shit gonna come back. She gonna want some more of that dick. I'm telling you. That shit is not over. It's not over. That shit is not over. She got internet and shit. Watch, she gonna start sending that nigga flicks and all that.
Terrified that it will cost me our relationship. I understand
What's up, y'all?
that
Welcome
if I
in, welcome
confess,
in.
it will devastate him, and he might not see me the same way again. However, I believe he might eventually forgive me, given his deep love for me and his naturally kind and caring nature. So here's my dilemma. Should I disclose my meaningless affair from 2 months ago to my husband, or should I stay silent and make amends in other ways? I'd really appreciate hearing from those of you who faced a similar situation and how you handled it. Please be honest and share both the positive and negative outcomes. First update, 32 days after my initial post. I want to express my gratitude to all of you for your heartfelt responses. I've carefully read each one and value your willingness to share your personal experiences.
Right.
After much contemplation and 3 counseling sessions with an excellent therapist, I've decided to tell my husband. It's going
What?
to be incredibly tough for me, and it will undoubtedly devastate him. But it's something I have to do.
Yo, she dumb. She had sex with a man while she was at work. The man don't live nowhere near her, right? She came back. She was being a better wife. The husband is cool. She just got this problem with her. So like, this is what people need to know when you cheat. Like, you don't cheat. You don't cheat on a person. You be cheating on yourself because you told yourself that you love this person and that you would stick with this person because you was there when you told this person that you loved them and that you was gonna be with them and that you wasn't gonna go out on them or no shit. However, it was down. Especially if you got married. So she's like, when you cheat on yourself. And she cheating on herself so bad, and she feels so bad that now she wants, what she should do is just break up with her husband and be out. She need to make him feel sad too. So now she about to let him know that she cheated. So now he can feel sad. Like, if I cheat on a motherfucker, I'm out. And you don't even gotta know I cheated. Just, I don't even know why he left. It was crazy. Yep, it was. He just ghosted me. Yep, that's what I did. It's better than me fucking smiling in your face and being sad as shit and lying. You feel me? Or me coming to you telling you, listen, I fucked this girl. It was by mistake. I'm sorry, babe. No. I'm not about to do that to you. I'm out. Bottom line. If I gotta cheat, I'm leaving and you ain't gotta know about it. There be so many people that when they break up and they find out somebody cheating on them, then they want to tell how they cheated on them too. I'm like, oh. I cheated on you too. That's why I fucked you. And that's why I fucked somebody. Whoa, wait, what? Ew. No, it ain't about that. If I gotta cheat, I'm breaking up with you. If you cheat on me, I'm breaking up with you. And that's how it goes. If you want to make it any other way, any other type time, then you can do that if you want. But no, that's the only way that I'm doing it. Because I don't got time.
Undoubtedly devastate him. But it's something I have to do. To prepare for this, I've created a detailed time.
See, that's something that she has to do. She only worried about herself. She don't got to do that shit. She can just be a nice wife and never cheat again. And call it a day. Why the fuck does she gotta tell him? And then she's talking about she made a timeline. And then when he cheat, when she tell him, he gonna ask, well, did you suck his dick? Did you wear protection? All this dumbass shit. Why does that even matter, bro? If she say, he wore protection and only let him fuck me in the butt, that was it. You gonna be like, all right, that's cool then. At least you ain't let him fuck the pussy. Where I be eating out. You know, did he eat you out? All right, cool. As long as y'all ain't do that, it was just in the back. Okay, cool. No, the more you learn, it's not gonna help. Stop asking people when they cheat on you what they did. Once they say they cheated, it's a wrap. There's so many people that be like, and me, I be wanting to ask like, was his dick bigger than mine? Did he last longer than me? Like, I be wanting to like, what's up? Because basically, like, you out here having sex with motherfuckers, like, was it worth it? They say it was worth it. I be like, well, hey, have a good life with that worth it dick. No, he putting his dick in all these other people too, and he not even smart, and he don't save no money. He almost hit me. Who fault is that? You want, but the dick is okay, right? The dick is good. The dick is good. Okay, then cool. That's what you want. Cause you had everything else but the dick, obviously. You know what I'm saying? The bills was getting paid. Had the car, you had all that shit. You had the kids and all that and shit. But what it wasn't was you wasn't getting the right dick that you wanted, so you got the dick. But the dick come with a person, and now you gotta deal with that person that's behind that dick. Now that pussy come with a person. You gotta deal with that pussy behind that person behind that pussy. That's the craziest part. Like on one night stands, sometimes there be ways where you can have a one night stand twice or something like that. Like right, like meaning like I can call it my one night stand and come back, and then we can fuck again. Then I can just call her and fucking do whatever. Because I already met off of fucking, so when I call, like, what's up, I'm about to come through, then that's what it's going to always be. The fuck, right? So, there's people like that with conversation. Like, if I hit them up right now, like, yeah, what you doing? Come through. We fucking. And some girls I call, come through, she had pajamas on, popcorn, a fucking blanket, and wanting to chill and watch TV and shit because that's what type of time she want. But that's not going to be the one I call if I need to do. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Do y'all understand what I'm saying? So, anyway, if that's what it means, you needed that pussy, bro, go and get that pussy. That's what you needed. It was so enticing. It wanted you. It showed you. It smelled good. You know, your girl at home looking crazy, wearing bonnets or whatever, yelling at you, nagging on you. This woman is only saying nice stuff to you until you fuck. And then you fuck a couple times. Then she gonna start asking for shit. Even if she is a fucking a damn jump off, she gonna hit you up like, hey, what's up? Can you pay for my phone bill? Can you do this? Hey, when I come, can you buy some food? Blah blah blah. Like they gonna start asking for shit no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Guys gonna start asking for freakier shit in the bed. He fuck around and have you orgying with him and all his homies. Cause he don't give a fuck about you. He's just the pussy. And the pussy easy to get. So hey, come fuck these guys too. I never did that before. But you love me, right? Yeah, okay. You don't care. I care.
To prepare for this, I've created a detailed timeline of the affair, which
What?
wasn't difficult since it was purely physical and lasted less than 24 hours with no emotional involvement.
What?
My therapist has also provided me with some helpful articles on how to support a spouse dealing with infidelity, specifically what actions to avoid. I mentally prepared for the possibility that he might need some time apart from me. Based on what I've learned, this reaction is entirely normal, although I will be saddened if he chooses to react that way. As I mentioned
She'll be
earlier,
sad.
my husband is an affectionate and caring man. He's generous and protective, so I don't anticipate him responding in that manner to this news. Instead, I believe he will be hurt and disappointed by my actions.
See?
I'm mentally prepared for a range of
See, this is what I'm saying. She really just wants to hurt this man. She wants to hurt this man. Because she could do, I would say she should do one or two things for real, for real. Don't even let him know. Just break up with his ass. Don't try to get no money out the deal because you done fucked up any damn way. Just, I don't want nothing. I'm out. It's over with. Don't ask me nothing and leave. Or keep being the good wife that you've been ever since you cheated. And then just live your life happily. Why do he got to know all these details? You giving him a whole fucking 24-hour synopsis of everything you did with the guy. And come on. At 12:35, I licked his balls. And then I did that for about 5 minutes. So at 12:40... I ended up switching him over and ate his butthole a little bit. But then, no, I might try to hear that shit. Just say, if anything, listen, it's over. I need to find myself. See that? That's when you say I need to find myself. He don't need to know that. If you love him, why would you tell him that? And if he's so generous and nice, why you even cheat on him?
responses. Keep your fingers crossed for me.
Keep your fingers crossed. Fuck no, I'm not keeping my fingers crossed. You're dumb. I hope you leave
13
me.
months after my previous update. Hello, everyone. It's been quite some time since I last posted here. Many of you have reached out, inquiring about the progress of my situation. I want to express my gratitude for your interest and concern. I intended to provide an update earlier, but life got pretty hectic, and I simply didn't have the time or energy. Things have finally started to settle down for me recently, so here I am. I'll continue where I left off. If you recall, I was about to confess to my husband about the short-lived affair I had with a coworker.
Right.
My plan was to have that conversation on a Saturday morning, and I followed through with it.
Mm-hmm.
I ensured that we'd both be present that morning because we had plans for the afternoon.
Hit them likes.
And I wanted to talk without
Subscribe.
interruptions. On the morning of the confession,
What y'all want me to watch?
I was a bundle of nerves, and I almost backed out of it.
Mm.
Looking back now, I wish I had.
Yeah.
I prepared Deegan's favorite breakfast, and after we ate, I disclosed the affair to him. He listened attentively as I spoke, without uttering a word. When I finished, he gazed at me as if he were peering right through me. Then, he excused himself and retreated to the office, closing the door behind him. I approached the door and attempted to turn the handle, but it was locked. I spoke to him through the door, reiterating how sorry I was and expressing my love for him. I informed him that I'd be waiting in the living room when he was ready to talk. Based on what I had read in articles, it suggested that those who have strayed should give the betrayed partner plenty of space. So that's precisely what I did. After a few minutes, I thought I heard him talking to someone, so I quietly went back to the door to see if I could make out the conversation. Unfortunately, I couldn't, so I returned to the living room. Then, I received a call from my mom, which I let go to voicemail because I didn't have the time to talk to her. About 10 minutes later, there was a knock at the door. When I looked out, I saw my parents standing there. I opened the door and was about to suggest they come back later because Deegan and I were in the middle of a private discussion. However, my mom mentioned that Deegan had called them and confessed everything.
Yo, that was another thing that I didn't do. I was so close to calling. Like, when you get cheated on, you just want to... Because you see how what she did, she hurt him. So, like, you just be wanting to, like, talk to people. And I was, like, this close to calling this shorty's dad. I mean, like, yo, your daughter's a fucking hoe. Fuck that bitch. I hate her. She cheated. She sucking, fucking, and doing all that. I really wanted to do that shit. But I was like, he don't deserve that shit. That shit not his business. Even though that's his daughter. But it ain't really his daughter, but that's a whole other situation. But listen, I didn't do that shit. That was corny. What is the parents gonna do? Bro, he should have been calling a moving company. That should have been his homeboys knocking at the door, moving his shit out. Or moving her shit out. Or her parents should be coming and get her right now. Like, oh yeah, she's about to come move with y'all. Yeah, she just said that she cheated. She about to come move with y'all. That better be what happened, because what is the point? And I wouldn't even tell him that she cheated. I'd be like, yo, listen, yo, come get your daughter. We broke up. It just is what it is. Maybe she'll explain it to you. See, I didn't do that, though. But, I mean, I'm saying, what he do? He called her and told his parents that she was starting and shit. What? What is that going to do, bro? It's over. Once she cheated, she beat. She done. Somehow I thought my secret affair would fix my marriage. Plus my sip hubby don't notice anything. But I was shocked at how he got revenge.
Discussion. However, my
I ain't
mom
trying to get
mentioned that
revenge either.
Deegan had...
I ain't really trying to get revenge either. Listen, my revenge when a motherfucker cheat on me is I look at the person that they cheated on me with. That's my revenge. Now, if they end up happily ever after, hey, it is what it is. But most of the time they don't. They end up getting beaten on, cheated on, skeeted on, and then be by their damn self. And I just be like, hey, I know that's what's gonna happen. Cause if you ain't work with me, then what the fuck? Who you about to work with? If you ain't work with me, cause I let your ass get away with a lot of shit, which is probably why, cause I let people get away with a lot of shit. I give women a lot of freedom when I'm in relationships with them, and then they end up taking that freedom for granted and doing dumb shit with it. So maybe I just shouldn't even give them those freedoms. But it's like, I can't stop a motherfucker from being them. I need them to have the freedom to be them. That's how I found out who they is. And it almost always end up that they end up being cruddy. You know? But there's a woman out there that's happy that when she get her free time, she goes to the coffee shop, she goes to fucking walks, she goes to yoga and don't be worried about other motherfuckers. She goes to the gym and don't be worried about other motherfuckers. She really go out and be thinking about me when she go out. And that woman I'ma find. But as of right now, all these women, they only when you on their mind. And then even then, if it's somebody in their face, they got it. You can be on their phone, you can be texting them. If it's somebody in their face, that's who got their attention. Bottom line. See, that's what it was back in the day. It wasn't too many motherfuckers in your wife's face. See, you and your wife was out there farming and cooking and fixing and doing shit. It wasn't just her doing that on the inside, cooking for... No, everybody was doing everything for everybody, right? And it wasn't too many motherfuckers that they was in their face. Man, they got a job. They in people's faces on the bus. They in people's faces when they in line for lunch. They in people's faces on break time. They in people's faces all fucking day long. One of them faces is going to get their attention. Bottom line. Your man, one of them asses is going to get his attention. If you ain't got his attention the right way, then he won't get that shit. And like I said, if people don't care, if people know that you got somebody and they just try and fuck, you gonna fuck them anywhere. If she just wanna fuck, I can fuck her in the closet for 5 minutes, 3 minutes. That's okay. When we gonna finish it? Get a hotel a little bit later. Don't worry about it. I'm on a break right now. I need to see you. Come to my car. What's up? Come in the car. Pants already off. Already in the back seat. What y'all want me to do? I'm just telling y'all the truth. As put that shit right back on, go to work. Fucked up thing, it wasn't even her car. It was a homie's car. Cause a man can't pick the ass up from work. He hay bag, she leaned over and kissed him with the dick with the lips that she just kissed my dick with. I almost texted her and said, "Bitch, don't be putting my dick on his chick. Fuck wrong with you? What? Yo, mouthwash before you leave. You're not about to be fucking kissing him with my dick on your lips. That's gay. Some niggas like that. I don't like that shit. Her ass be going and
Discussion. However, my mom mentioned that Deegan had called them and confessed everything. I couldn't believe it and was left speechless. My dad asked if it was true, and I asked, "True about what?" My dad inquired, "Did you have an affair with one of your co-workers?" I admitted to it and started crying. My mom asked how I could do such a thing. Before I could respond, Deegan emerged from the office and began conversing with my parents, completely ignoring me and referring to me in the third person. He requested that my dad take me away from there as he wasn't in a good state of mind. I continued to try to communicate with him, but he kept ignoring me, focusing solely on my parents as though I were invisible. Desperate for his attention, I approached him and hugged him. Though he didn't push me away, he didn't hug me back either. After I let go of him, he returned to the office and locked the door. My parents began asking me questions about the affair, which upset me, and I ran into the bedroom. My mom followed me in, and we had a conversation for a while.
why she didn't get her
And
mom
then
the
she helped
timeline?
me pack a few things. Before leaving, I spoke to Deegan through the door, expressing my love for him and stating that I would stay away until he was ready to talk. I informed him that I was heading to my parents' house and would remain there as long as he needed.
Okay.
I didn't receive any communication from him for the rest of the day. I attempted to contact him several times, but he didn't respond. In my final text, I mentioned that I was coming over because I was worried about him. He replied and requested that I give him some space. I spent the entire day crying and repeatedly asking myself how something like this could happen. When I woke up on Sunday...
How did it happen? Your career is why it happened. She said when she first cheated with the colleague from work, it was a celebration because they got done a project. Go ahead, keep dating these boss babes if y'all want. Go ahead. All it takes is one time. One mistake. One thing led to another. Alcohol. Celebration. I had a shorty. Every time when she fucked somebody else, she blamed somebody else. This part, they didn't tell me. He tricked me. We was talking and then it happened. Fuck is you even in there talking to this nigga for? What in the world? Get the fuck out of here.
myself how something like this could happen. When I woke up on Sunday morning, my parents were sitting at the table, drinking coffee with sad expressions on their faces. I thought they were upset about my actions, but there was more to it. My dad informed me that Deegan had come over earlier that morning. I was excited and inquired if they had spoken to him. My dad replied, "No, we didn't see him." I then asked how they knew he was there. My dad explained that it was because he had left my car in the driveway, filled with all my belongings. Upon hearing this, I simply said, "What?" and rushed out to the driveway, where I saw my SUV parked and packed to the brim with trash bags. Seeing that, I broke down and fell to the ground, crying. I couldn't believe.
Yup, that's what your ass get. Take your bags, take your shit, get the fuck up out of here. I don't know why you expect his ass to be nice to you after you cheated on him. But want you back.
What I was witnessing. I told my parents that I needed to go to my house to speak with Deegan.
For what?
Upon my arrival, he was at home but didn't answer the door.
Hell no.
I attempted to unlock the doors using my keys, but the internal deadbolts were engaged,
Hell yeah.
and I couldn't gain access.
Good job.
My next thought was to enter through the garage,
Oh no.
but when I checked my visor, I realized Deegan had taken the remote. My idea was to enter through the garage keypad, but he had changed the code,
Yes.
effectively locking me out of my own house.
Yes,
Given
change
the
all
early
that.
hour on a Sunday morning, I didn't want to disturb the neighbors, so I started texting him. Initially, I was polite, but when he didn't respond,
What?
I sent a text expressing that it was my place too, and he couldn't just lock me out.
Uh-oh.
His response was simply, "Sue me." I
Right.
couldn't believe that the man I had once loved deeply and who had been kind and caring was treating me this way. I knew I deserved consequences, but not like this. At the very least, I expected him to be civil and not behave like someone irrational. Ultimately, I returned to my parents' house,
That's
locked
irrational.
myself in my old room, and spent most of the day in tears, utterly bewildered by the events of the past 24 hours. Throughout the day, I continued my attempts to contact Deegan, but he remained unresponsive. On Monday morning, I contacted my boss and requested 3 days off to address the situation. I returned to the house on Monday morning and managed to gain entry. Deegan was not there, and when I entered our bedroom, I noticed that all of his clothes were gone. It was when I entered the office that I saw something that shattered me. I discovered our wedding album cover beside the shredder, and Deegan had removed all the pictures and shredded them. I couldn't believe it. As I walked around the house, I noticed that all the pictures of us had disappeared. Upon further searching, I found the empty frames, and it became clear that he had shredded those as well. I felt deeply saddened and couldn't comprehend what was unfolding. I decided to call Deegan's workplace and spoke with the receptionist.
Wait, how did she get in?
Seeing that, I broke down and fell to the ground, crying.
I missed the part, y'all.
I couldn't believe what I was witnessing.
How'd she get in the house?
I told my parents
Yeah,
that I
he got
needed
rid
to
of all
go to
her
my house
pictures.
to speak with Deegan. Upon
First of all them pictures is probably in those damn trash bags. Take all that shit. Because, see, that's the whole thing that you give up. That's what you got. That's what you give up. But, I mean, maybe she want the house now, too. She like, fuck that. I cheated, but I still deserve the house and shit. I don't know. But, listen, that's what you get. He gave you back all your shit. Took down all your pictures.
my arrival,
Right.
he was at home but didn't answer the door. I attempted to unlock the doors using my keys, but the internal deadbolts were engaged, and I couldn't gain access.
Right.
My next thought was to enter through the garage,
No.
but when I checked my visor, I realized Deegan had taken the remote.
Good job.
My idea was to enter through the garage keypad, but he had changed the code, effectively locking me out of my own house.
That's what you get.
Given the early hour on a Sunday morning, I didn't want to disturb the neighbors, so I started texting him. Initially, I was polite, but when he didn't respond, I sent a text expressing that it was my place too, and he couldn't just lock me out. His response was simply, "Sue me." I couldn't believe that the man I had once loved deeply and who had been kind and caring was treating me this way. I knew.
But the man that's kind and caring is the man that you cheated on. Why you didn't, right before that man put his dick in your pussy, why you didn't stop? My man is kind and caring. Bye. I'm sorry. We can't do it. Why can't that happen?
I deserved consequences, but not like this. At the very least, I expected him to be civil and not behave like someone irrational. Ultimately, I returned to my parents' house, locked myself in my old room, and spent most of the day in tears, utterly bewildered by the events of the past 24 hours. Throughout the day, I continued my attempts to contact Deegan, but he remained unresponsive. On Monday morning, I contacted my boss and requested 3 days off to address the situation. I returned to the house on Monday morning and managed to gain entry. Deegan was not there, and when I entered
Okay.
our bedroom, I noticed that all of his clothes were gone.
Yep.
It was when I entered the office that I saw something that shattered me. I discovered our wedding album cover beside the shredder, and Deegan had removed all the pictures and shredded them. I couldn't believe it. As I walked around the house, I noticed that all the pictures of us had disappeared. Upon further searching, I found the empty frames, and it became clear that he had shredded those as well. I felt deeply saddened and couldn't comprehend what was unfolding. I decided to call Deegan's workplace and spoke with the receptionist. I inquired if I could speak with him, and she informed me that he wouldn't be in the office for the remainder of the week, as he had taken the week off. I then reached out to my mother-in-law. She picked up the call and mentioned that Deegan had already informed her and my father-in-law about everything. I asked if she knew his whereabouts, and she confirmed that she did, but declined to tell me, and abruptly ended the conversation.
Yeah, fuck you.
I felt hurt by this situation, as I had a close relationship with my in-laws. On Wednesday of that week,
she felt hurt. My bad, y'all. I done stopped the whole shit, because somebody hitting me the fuck up. I just sent them some money to make me some business cards and shit. They hit me up and shit.
In-laws. On Wednesday of that week, I started receiving calls from Percy. I chose to ignore all his calls and sent them to voicemail. Afterward, when I listened to his messages, he was urgently requesting me to call him as soon as possible. Finally, in his last message, he mentioned that Deegan had somehow contacted his fiancée.
Oh shit. Hell yeah, yo. Okay. First of all, though, but peep game though. She said Percy called. Why he not blocked? He left a voicemail. Why you listen to the voicemail? See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? She shouldn't even have known that, because she should have blocked and not listened to nothing that man got to say. That part. See? $50, nigga.
And disclosed everything about the two of us. Upon hearing this, I called Percy, and he was angry. He reminded me that we had promised not to disclose anything to anyone. I acknowledged this and admitted that I should have informed him before speaking to my husband, but I hadn't anticipated his reaction. Percy then revealed that he had told his fiancée that my husband was lying and that nothing had occurred. He informed me that she intended to call me, and he insisted that I tell her the same story. I informed him that I couldn't comply with that request, and he began pleading with me.
Damn, so alright, so listen, yo. I don't know why that man thought that she was going to listen. She's already a cheater, right? She's already a cheater. So she don't follow the rules already, right? So the rules was that we don't tell nobody. She told her husband, right? The husband calls his wife or his fiance. He tells his fiance that the husband is lying and tells her to tell, when my wife call you, say that, no, ain't nothing happened. My husband was just going crazy. Why can't she just do that? She talking about something else. She can't do that. She not going to lie. Now she really want to fuck up two families now. Damn, she really shitty. No, if I got to go through it, you got to go through it too. That's what both y'all get for having sex with each other. When y'all had other people. I wish I would have got a disease. Fuck y'all. I hate cheaters. They suck.
Once I reiterated my refusal to lie, he started verbally attacking me, using hurtful words and insults. He wouldn't stop, so I decided to end the call by hanging up on him and blocking his number. Shortly after, I received a call from his fiancée, and
Why she didn't Ben block his number, though? That's why you can't fuck with these bitches, because all they gotta do is go log back into their Snapchat and like a nigga snap, and then he back on her top again. Like, stop playing. All you gotta do is like a nigga Instagram from 3 years ago that you fucked with. He gonna be back on your top again. Sometimes it works like that with women too. If you leveled up, then it'll work with women. If you didn't level up, then no. But it depends. You can still do it, because I do it.
Disclosed everything to her. She remained silent as I recounted the events, and when I finished, she abruptly hung up. However, the ordeal didn't conclude there. When I returned to work the next day,
She told the girl
I was
everything.
summoned to the office of the HR director, who happened to be a friend of mine. Initially, I didn't suspect anything amiss, but upon arriving, I noticed the HR manager and the director of security were also present. I had a feeling I might be in trouble. They asked me to take a seat and mentioned that they had some questions for me. They informed me that they had been contacted by someone alleging that Percy and I had engaged in an affair during company time and had utilized company resources. My heart sank, and I started to cry. I then proceeded to confess what had occurred, but clarified that nothing had happened during official work hours. The HR director explained that when salaried employees travel for business, the entire trip is considered work time. She went on to clarify that the hotel room is regarded as a company resource since it was paid for by the company. They proceeded to inquire about the second night when Percy and I were together. They asked if I had dinner with Percy that evening, and I reluctantly admitted that I had. They followed up by asking if I had consumed wine, to which I replied affirmatively, disclosing that I had 2 glasses. Next, they inquired if I had bought the wine, and I responded that I hadn't. Percy had made the purchase. The HR director pointed out that this violated company policy because employees are not allowed to use another employee's card for food or drinks. As a result, I received a final written warning for these I decided to end the call by hanging up on him and blocking
That's
his
what
number.
she get.
Shortly after, I received...
So Percy is really sad and mad, and Percy is really trying to get revenge out of all of this, yo. For real. You feel me? He done called the woman, fucked up her life. But she really fucked up the woman life, because she could have helped that shit out. She could have said, no, ain't nothing happened. I don't know what you're talking about. Now she got to go to work and telling it. Why she telling everybody? This is the thing. Women is dumb. Why they doing all this damn talking? Why she telling everybody what happened? Because she liked the fact that it happened.
a call from his fiancée, and I disclosed everything to her. She remained silent as I recounted the events, and when I finished, she abruptly hung up. However,
First of all, why is she telling everybody everything? All she had to do was say, yes, we did have sex. Bye. That's it. Not no, we went out for wine. Then we went back. Then the next day we had sex again. No. Why is she doing that?
Deal didn't conclude there. When I returned to work the next day, I was summoned to the office of the HR director, who happened to be a friend of mine. Initially, I didn't suspect anything amiss, but upon arriving, I noticed the HR manager and the director of security were also present. I had a feeling I might be in trouble. They asked me to take a seat and mentioned that they had some questions for me. They informed me that they had been contacted by someone alleging that Percy and I had engaged in an affair during company time and had utilized company resources. My heart sank, and I started to cry. I then proceeded to confess what had occurred, but clarified that nothing had happened during official work hours. The HR director explained that when salaried employees travel for business, the entire trip is considered work time. She went on to clarify that the hotel room is regarded as a company resource since it was paid for by the company. They proceeded to inquire about the second night when Percy and I were together. They asked if I had dinner with Percy that evening, and I reluctantly admitted that I had. They followed up by asking if I had consumed wine, to which I replied affirmatively, disclosing that I had 2 glasses. Next, they inquired if I had bought the wine, and I responded that I hadn't. Percy had made the purchase. The HR director pointed out that this violated company policy because employees are not allowed to use another employee's card for food or drinks. As a result, I received a final written warning for these infractions, while Percy faced termination. To clarify, there was no preferential treatment due to my gender. Percy would have faced the same consequences if those were the only issues. But unfortunately for him, there was more to his situation. Percy got terminated because he extended his stay by an extra day without a legitimate business reason and charged the entire expense, including the flight change fee, hotel stay, and all his meals, which included the 2 bottles of wine. He extended his stay solely to be with me the following evening. I feel deeply remorseful about what happened to Percy. He was an outstanding employee with a promising future, but now he's unemployed, and his fiancée left him, all because of my actions. As for me, any aspirations of getting a promotion in the aftermath of this incident seem unlikely. To add to the turmoil, the following Monday at work, Deegan had divorce papers served to me at the reception desk. The receptionist called to inform me that there was a delivery up front. As I arrived there, a man was waiting with a box of flowers. I hoped they were a gift from Deegan, and indeed they were. However, after I signed for the package, the man handed me the flowers and then delivered the divorce papers, stating, "Mrs. Jenny, you have officially been served with divorce papers." My world fell apart at that moment, and I couldn't hold back my tears. I had to leave the office and decided to take the rest of the week off. Over the next 7 months, I made every effort to salvage my marriage, but Deegan refused to engage with me at all. In fact, he hasn't uttered a single word to me since I confessed. Our divorce has now been finalized, but I'm still struggling emotionally. I cherish and miss the kind man he used to be before my affair, but I understand that person no longer exists. I acknowledge that I deserve to face consequences for my actions, but I never anticipated Deegan's reaction. I knew there was a slim chance that my confession could end our relationship, but I believed that likelihood was exceedingly rare. I want to conclude with a message for my husband. Babe, if you ever come across this, I want you to know that I am genuinely sorry and will love you eternally.
If making other lives better was meant to be your life's work, you belong at Chamberlain University, where we lift you up and push you forward with a community that's 140,000 strong. Chamberlain University, belong to something greater.
The fuck out with this
I want you
stupid
to
ass
know that I
commercial.
am genuinely sorry and will love you eternally.
All right, that was a fun story. Now let's move on to another exciting one. Stay tuned and let's dive in.
I'm 36 years old, and my wife is 38. We first crossed paths when I was in my 3rd year of college, and she was in her 4th. Since that day, we've been together. After dating for 3 years, we made the decision to move in together. Then, after 3 more years, we tied the knot. 2 years after that, our happiness grew when my wife became pregnant, and we welcomed our daughter into the world. Like any typical family, we had our fair share of domestic disagreements, but we always managed to reconcile swiftly, sometimes even in the middle of an argument. In general, we were a traditional family. Once I completed my education, I embarked on my career journey, working hard to climb the corporate ladder. Eventually, I earned enough to afford a spacious 4-room apartment. We invested significantly in renovating it, and happily settled into our new home. My wife, after her maternity leave, resumed her career, which went quite smoothly. She secured a good position and started earning a decent income. With our combined earnings, we achieved financial prosperity. Over time, we acquired everything we needed, including a new apartment for our growing daughter, luxurious cars, and all the comforts one could desire. Life felt abundant. I held deep love for my wife and remained faithful to her throughout our marriage. I wasn't a heavy drinker, but occasionally I'd enjoy a glass of wine with dinner. I recently gave up smoking. We always planned our vacations together, and I developed a passion for diving and skiing. While my wife chose not to dive due to fear, she took up skiing. Our lives revolved around working, earning money, and savoring the rewards of our hard work. My wife's job was related to international business, often involving meetings with colleagues from abroad for negotiations. Gradually, I began to notice that her interactions with these colleagues appeared to be longer than before. While it initially piqued my curiosity, I didn't pay much attention to it at first. Another notable change was her receiving Snapchat messages in the evenings. Oddly, when her foreign colleagues were around, these messages stopped coming. A couple of times I checked her phone after she had fallen asleep, but all the messages had been deleted. I observed that the last message consistently arrived around 7 p.m., even though her phone received notifications after she had already gone to bed. In the end, suspicion completely consumed me. One evening she arrived home late, around 10 p.m., and I, perhaps foolishly, jokingly inquired if she had bid farewell to her secret admirer. I witnessed a fear in her eyes like never before. However, once she realized I was teasing, she smiled and dismissed it, calling me a fool. Furthermore, she occasionally traveled abroad to visit her colleagues in return. When my suspicions peaked, I reached a breaking point. I resorted to installing spyware on her phone, enabling remote control through SMS or my personal account. This software could capture audio from her surroundings, take pictures with the camera, and send all the data to my personal account. One day she embarked on another business trip, and in the evening, after spending time with our daughter, assisting her with homework, and putting her to bed by 10 p.m., I accessed the spyware account and instructed it to record her phone's surroundings for 10 minutes. A few minutes later, a recording popped up on my account, and upon listening, I heard my wife's voice in a room with a man.
Damn.
They conversed in English, and I comprehended every word. Their discussion revolved around ordinary life matters, accompanied by laughter. I realized they were alone in that room. Then, the sudden clinking of glasses amid their laughter sent my heart racing. At that instant, I sent another command to record for an additional 20 minutes and capture an image of the surroundings. Shockingly, the photo came out as a dark square, indicating the phone was placed with the camera facing down. Swiftly, I directed the program to snap a picture using the front camera. The resulting photo showed the phone resting on the bedside table in the room, partially capturing the bed's headboard and an adjacent wall lamp. 15 minutes later, another recording emerged, sending shivers down my spine. As I played it, their laughter and conversation filled my ears once more. I found myself in a state of disbelief and shock, as if my entire world were collapsing right before my eyes. Stunned, I poured myself a drink and instructed the program to record for an additional 4 hours, during which I drowned my sorrows in alcohol. The following morning, Thursday, I was utterly shattered. As it was time for my daughter to go to school, I informed her that she didn't need to attend classes that day. I also notified my boss that I would be taking a couple of personal days until Monday. My wife's expected return was on Sunday, so I settled down and began listening to the 4-hour recording.
Damn.
However, I could only bear to listen for 40 minutes because at that moment I unmistakably heard the sounds of my wife's pleasure. The same sounds I had known for over 13 years.
Got it.
It felt like a sharp knife had pierced my heart, causing both emotional and physical anguish. Stunned and overwhelmed, I hurried to the bathroom, feeling nauseous. I couldn't tell if it was a hangover or the current situation causing it. I stood under a freezing shower for 20 minutes, desperately seeking relief. Afterward, I took our daughter to visit her grandparents, promising to explain everything later, and then returned home alone. During lunch, my wife called and genuinely inquired about my well-being. I stood there in silence, unable to utter a word, feigning a poor connection. I informed her that I wasn't feeling well and would stay home for a few days, entrusting our daughter to her grandmother's care. That day felt like the most agonizing of my life. I experienced a personal hell, feeling utterly lost and unsure of how to proceed. My mind was consumed by a constant buzzing that drowned out my own thoughts. I sat on the couch and wept like a child, overwhelmed by waves of anger and apathy. The more I let my emotions out, the more they seemed to numb me. By the day's end, I was emotionally drained. In the evening, I returned to the spyware account and began giving commands to the phone. I received photos, some taken from her bag and others from the table. There were recordings of her performances in restaurants with numerous voices, presumably her colleagues. Then, as the evening progressed, I stumbled upon something different. The phone was once again on the bedside table, capturing her voice along with someone else's. However, this time there were no intimate sounds. Unable to endure it any longer, I called her. After 4 rings, she answered, noticeably panting. I inquired about her heavy breathing, and she explained that the hotel elevator had broken down, forcing her to climb the stairs to her room. We talked for a while, and I did my best to maintain a calm and steady voice. Eventually, I mentioned that I was going to bed, wished her good night, hung up, and swiftly sent a command to the spy program, requesting a rapid series of pictures using the front camera. Her mistake occurred right then. After our call, she placed the phone not on the bedside table but on the bed beside her. As a result, the front-facing camera started capturing slightly tilted but candid photos. These images revealed her sitting astride someone else with her head thrown back.
Damn.
Following that, there was a recording that captured unmistakable sounds, instantly exposing her actions. That was the final straw for me, and I documented these notes and materials. At that point, she had become a complete stranger to me. From that moment on, I refrained from further investigation until Sunday, because everything had become painfully clear. I was pondering my next steps. Should I pursue a divorce? What about our 6-year-old daughter? On Sunday, late at night, she returned home, eager to kiss me. I pulled away, telling her I was still unwell.
Don't kiss her.
I had an urge to confront her and let my anger out. Instead, I retreated to the office and slept on the sofa. The following morning, I woke up before her, couldn't bear to be around her any longer, and headed to work. I endured the day mechanically, then approached my boss and urgently requested a week's vacation. I saved all the proof on a flash drive and then phoned my wife. I told her I had to go on a one-day business trip, but asked her not to take our daughter away from her grandmother because I had a surprise planned. That night, when I returned home, I packed my bag quickly. She helped me pack, acting politely and innocently. However, her insincerity made me angry. I took my bag, left a USB drive on the bedroom nightstand, and called a taxi to our second apartment, the one set aside for our daughter. Once there, I called a friend and suggested going abroad for a few days. He agreed, and we hastily booked tickets for an early morning flight to Munich. It was in Munich that I confessed everything to him. We explored the city, socialized with other women, and to be honest, I no longer had any feelings for my wife. I ignored her calls and only messaged her to insert the USB drive into my laptop. After about 30 minutes, my phone started ringing non-stop, and I received numerous messages. But I didn't care anymore, so I turned off my phone.
Oh, because his wife got the flash
We
drive.
continued our adventures in Munich for 3 more days before I flew back home on Saturday. When I returned, I turned on my phone, and it took me 5 minutes to go through a bunch of messages from my wife. However, I chose not to read them because I was afraid of getting confused before going into the apartment. When I entered, it was oddly quiet inside. I quietly placed my bag down, removed my shoes, and was about to wash my hands when she emerged from the bedroom. Oh my goodness. I had never seen her looking so disheveled and swollen, with tears streaming down her face. She dropped to her knees, trying to explain something incoherently amidst her sobs and tears. I maintained a stoic expression, urging her not to make a scene. Then, in a composed manner, I asked her about our next steps. She begged me for forgiveness, once again drowning in tears and mucus. She admitted she had made a terrible mistake, claiming she didn't understand how things had come to this point. She even started calling herself names and so on. But, I realized that I no longer felt sympathy or anger toward her. She cried out that she loved me and had always loved only me, and that all of this had happened because she had been foolish and realized during my absence that she had ruined our relationship. But as they say, revenge is best served cold. I told her that we were no longer husband and wife, just mom and dad for our daughter. We would pretend everything was okay between us, but I would live my life, and she could live hers. She was no longer the only one in my life. She was just my partner in raising our child. Maybe someday I'll change my mind, but for now, the thought of being intimate with her makes me sick. By the way, I told her where I had been and what I had been doing. She said she understood everything and was willing to endure whatever it took. Well, no one forced her to speak. As a result, we now share the same apartment. Although, to be honest, I've already purchased another one for myself and put it in my father's name to avoid property disputes. I spend most of my time sleeping in the office, although occasionally I sleep in the bedroom for my daughter's sake. There have been a few times when my wife tried to hug me when we shared a bed, but I rejected her firmly. It's been 3 months since we were intimate. She hasn't confided in her parents. Only her father knows about my situation. We agreed to take a family vacation once a year for a week, but now we'd have separate beds. I often hang out with friends and have made new acquaintances, including some attractive women. Sometimes I wonder when she'll reach a breaking point and leave or file for divorce, but she hasn't yet. I frequently catch her staring at me like a scared cat. But honestly, I don't care. Even though I see her making efforts, I find satisfaction in her pain. Recently, I provocatively placed a pack of rubbers on my office desk to taunt her. Despite her reaction, she entered the office to say something, noticed the rubbers on the table, and hurried out, probably in tears. She still goes to work, but she doesn't stay late anymore. Although I don't really keep tabs on her. At some point, she tried to explain to me that she had severed all non-business ties with another man. It seems she'll still need to communicate with him for work-related matters, but she swears she doesn't approach him now. By the way, that guy also has a family. I told her that her relationships with sexual partners are none of my concern, and she's free to do as she pleases.
You good.
She doesn't need to inform me about her intimate encounters.
I don't care.
I also stay out late sometimes now, leaving when my daughter goes to bed on Friday nights, for example. Naturally, I don't hold back when it comes to my desires. If I want sex, it happens. In the morning, I go to the office to sleep, or to the bedroom if she's not there anymore. There haven't been any changes in our daily routine at home. I continue to do the grocery shopping, and I enjoy cooking. We still have a housekeeper for cleaning, so that aspect remains the same. I've been covering the rent for the apartment, and I still am. I'm not concerned about how or if she's spending her money. Our communication is limited to our daughter or her parents when they visit. Although I have a feeling that if I were to tell my mother-in-law, she might confront her right in front of me. I have a good relationship with my mother-in-law. She's a smart woman who values family strongly. This is probably one reason why my wife doesn't want to leave. It seems like she's afraid of her mom because she knows her mother would ask, "What's going on?" And I won't lie. In general, I tease my wife as much as I can, and I find enjoyment in it. Yes, maybe I've become somewhat of a monster now, but she's the one who brought this out in me. And you know what surprises me? Her persistence and patience. It's like a challenge to me. I wonder how much more she can endure. And please don't start with the whole, "She's the mother of your child, blah, blah, blah." She didn't care much about that when she was involved with that guy. For half a year, she was going on business trips or having affairs in this city without thinking about our daughter or her husband. No comment. Whenever I feel like I might soften.
All right, this next one is called
Hola.
I Offered.
Tu gata è mi frente.
How y'all doing? Welcome in.
Your cat is on my terrace.
Meow.
It's called I Offered to Open My Marriage with Another Couple, but my hubby rejected it.
Hello, fellow readers.
And then she still did it
this
anyway.
blog for quite a few years.
And don't
I
understand
never
why he don't
imagined I'd
like
be
it.
in a situation where I'd need your advice, but here I am. I'm a 24-year-old guy. You can call me Jeff, and my fiance is a 22-year-old woman. Let's call her Julie. I first met
Yes, so.
Yeah, hello?
Hello?
Yeah, what's good?
Chilling. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. And you, what's happening? What's good over there?
Oh, bless. Yeah, I sent you the money.
All right. You know what? I will need the screenshot of the payment.
All right, I'm gonna send you that when I get to the phone. I'm not on the phone now. I gotta get to that one.
Okay, the 50 you make, is it for the business card?
Yes, it's for the business card, sir. Yes.
Okay. But I do always text you on Instagram, but you never reply me over there.
I'm sorry, yeah, because I don't have that phone all the time.
Okay.
I do want to do some more work with you. I do want the cartoon, but I don't have it set yet right now. But right now, I'm gonna just get some cards, and then we're gonna figure out the cartoon later on.
All right.
Okay.
All right, no problem.
Yes, sir.
Okay, don't forget about the screenshot of the payment. So.
Okay, I got you. It'll probably come around like in 2 hours.
All right, no problem.
All right, peace. Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
I think that nigga is not about to make me no fucking cards. I think I just sent them $50 and I got played.
22-year-old woman. Let's call her Julie.
I could have bought a fucking printer for $50 and did my own damn business cards. Or bought some damn ink for my printer that I already got. I got 2 printers already. I just like helping people out with their businesses, but people be fucking scammers.
Met Julie at a fast casual restaurant where she works as a cashier and serves beverages. Right from the start, I found her extremely attractive and would always find reasons to strike up a conversation with her. If she happened to be busy with another customer, I let them go ahead of me just so I could place my order with her. Gradually, I began frequenting the restaurant for lunch about 2-3 times a week just to chat with her, but I never quite...
See, this is the thing, right? So women be going to work, and they don't understand that motherfuckers be working on them. So the same way, so this is the thing, he got a girl. He just said that his girl was a waitress, and he would go to the restaurant just to see her, just to put in his little bid every once in a while. Other motherfuckers do that too, bro. Like, that's the whole point. Like, why you got your woman working? Like, this women working shit is crazy. I don't like that shit. My woman not about to be working at no fucking job unless she the CEO and she make her own hours and she going when she want to. Yeah, but I done had so many relationships where I had to tell the damn boss, yo, my woman is off. Leave her alone. She's off today. We going out for the weekend. But we need her this weekend. I don't care. I don't even know what she got a job for. I pay all the fucking bills and every damn thing. She don't even need to be here for her. She only here because she want to be in niggas' faces.
...found the courage to ask her out. Then one day, while she was ringing up my order, she wrote her phone number on the back of my receipt and encouraged me to call her that evening, expressing how much she enjoyed our conversations. I did just that, and we...
Instead of coming and live with me for free and starting your own business, your ass want to go somewhere else and get a job somewhere.
talked for a solid 2 hours. Toward the end of our conversation, I mustered up the courage to ask her out on an official dinner date. The date went really well, and she opened up to me about her life, revealing that she is the mother of a 4-year-old boy. She became a mother during the beginning of her senior year in high school. As she told me, the child's father was never a part of the child's life. He moved to Georgia after graduation, and she hasn't had...
That's the problem right there. See? Like this. Like, it kind of seemed like, oh my gosh, that guy is such a bad guy. But she picked that guy. That's the guy that she chose to have sex with. Like, my ex, she had a child by a man that had 5 kids and didn't take care of none of their asses. And she knew that before she even had her baby with his ass. You feel me? So I don't know what I expect. What I expect her to be. No, she gonna still be making dumbass decisions. I look at it like I'm one of her dumb decisions. I'm like, damn, shorty. It was a couple shorties I let they shit go when I was a young boy. It was a couple shorties that was in colleges that was doing good and shit, and they was like, they ain't had no dudes and no shit. I'm like, you know what? Go ahead, you go ahead, cause I'm not about to be one to fuck your life up. Go ahead, have fun. I ain't gonna be it. It ain't gonna be me, cause I don't got time for that shit. Life is already fucked up. I'm not about to be the one to fuck it up. You know what I mean? Or no, y'all don't feel
...had any contact with him since. She also mentioned casually dating a few other guys in the past, but nothing had turned serious. On my end, I had 2 previous girlfriends before Julie.
Listen, you date the fuck. So if she dating, that mean that she fucking other guys. That's what it means. I mean, I dated some guys, but nothing really stuck. It mean that you fucked them and then they ain't stay around. But yet he's still trying to get with her. Right?
When I learned about her child, I expressed that I'd like to maintain our friendship, but wasn't interested in pursuing anything more. Given her existing responsibilities as a mother, she was understanding and agreed with this arrangement. We continued to hang out, meeting up once or twice a week, just enjoying each other's company. This dynamic continued for nearly 2 months until one day she surprised me with a kiss. From that point, our next 3 dates gradually became more passionate, and eventually, we took our relationship to the next level. It was an amazing experience.
Bro waited how many dates to fuck this woman that's been fucking other niggas and got a baby, and the nigga left and went to the whole nother city, but this guy done went on how many dates and happy that he got a kiss from her? She been kissing niggas' dick since the 3rd grade. What are you talking about?
And from then on, I was fully committed. We started spending every evening and weekend together, and after a couple of weeks, she introduced me to her son, whom we'll call Josh. Josh and I immediately connected, and he started joining us almost every time we were together. Even though I initially had reservations, I ended up falling in love with Julie and her son. When I discussed the situation with my parents, they had their doubts. They believed that, given my recent graduation and stable job, I could find someone else. My mother questioned whether I truly wanted to take on the responsibility of raising another man's child. I clarified that we weren't at that stage yet, but would consider it in the right circumstances. A few weeks later, I introduced Julie and Josh to my parents, and their opinions began to shift. They found Julie to be very nice and quickly developed a fondness for Josh. Afterward, they expressed their approval of our relationship but advised caution since I had only known Julie for a few months at that point. I assured them that I would proceed at a comfortable pace. During that period, Julie had a roommate named Jane. Jane also worked at the restaurant with Julie and was engaged to be married. After Julie and I had been dating for 8 months, she informed me that Jane wanted to move in with her fiancé, but Julie couldn't afford the rent without Jane. After some consideration, I decided to move in with Julie and Josh, allowing Jane to make her move. I had lived with my parents throughout my entire life, even during my college years, and I felt it was time for me to become more independent. Julie and Jane supported my decision, but my parents strongly objected. They emphasized that it was ultimately my choice, but expressed their concerns. I reassured them that it wasn't a long-term commitment, and I wouldn't be signing a lease. I was simply taking over Jane's share of the rent payment. When I moved in, there were still 7 months left on the lease. Fast forward, Julie, Josh, and I have been living together for almost 5 months now, and everything has been going smoothly. I had developed strong feelings for Julie, and I had grown very close to little Josh. We were so close that he once told me he wished I were his dad. Even though I suspected Julie encouraged him to say that, I knew he genuinely liked me. As I mentioned, everything was going well until an unusual incident occurred about 3 weeks ago. One night, after Josh had fallen asleep, Julie and I were talking. She mentioned that one of her co-workers, Jamie, found me attractive and expressed interest in being intimate with me. Shockingly, she also revealed that Jamie's husband wanted to have an affair with her. I was completely taken aback and disgusted by this revelation. I informed Julie that I appreciated the compliment but had absolutely no interest in being intimate with Jamie. I also inquired about Jamie's husband, and this was the first time Julie had mentioned anything about this situation to me, which left me quite upset. Rather than addressing my question directly, Julie proceeded to